YouTube faithful, it's Taco Tuesday. We got Brunson on deck for 20.5, the PrizePicks employee himself. We got Joel Embiid's big return back into the ring. Is he gonna sell? Nobody knows what's going on today, but I will tell you this, 3 tacos. Hopefully we get a sweep. I'm not in love with the Brunson taco for various reasons, but I will be taking it. I did take it. I recommend you take it. I'm gonna give you a pair that I like to give you a crispy, magnificent, double up on your money. That's 2x. Good luck trying to double your money in any other area in life in less than 1 to 2 hours. You will not find it in this lifetime unless you're doing some illegal goods and services, which I don't recommend, comment guy. Now, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Smash the like, smash subscribe, leave your boy a comment. I try to get these out by 10 or 11 a.m. Central Time. I've been hit in the face with life the past 2 weeks. Unfortunately, my schedule has reflected that. The videos have been dropping later, and I am going to do my best to start dropping them earlier again. It helps the channel, but while they do drop late, I really do appreciate you guys hitting the like button because it does boost it out for the YouTube algorithm. It's a fickle beast. So grab your popcorn, grab your Gatorade, your Red Bull, whatever have you, and let's cook this down. I told you I was going to talk about a taco pair. Here he is, the one, the only, the wannabe MJ Ant Edwards. Now, we have plenty of options today with Anthony Edwards. His Goblin will net you a 2x on any taco, and that, like I said, is a double up. Now, you could take his Goblin points, which I do think is optimal. My model has him going for roughly 27.5. Let's call it 28. His OG line is 26.5. They moved it up to 27, so now he needs 28. But honestly, I believe all of this is in play. His rebounds, his fantasy score, his 2.5 3-point made Goblin. It's all in the mix. He cooks Portland. Jalen Johnson will come back to you, brother. But look right here on his 3-pointers, and this is 3.5. It's literally a wagon. He's just shooting too many. Filter it to 3-point made allowed for shooting guards. They're ranked 30th, which, by the way, that's dead last, okay? If you look at his last 10, I mean 4, 9, 5, 4, 3. He's just shooting. So 2.5 as a gobby just seems like an optimal square. Last time he played him on November 8th, he had 9 3-pointers going for some type of record. I think he continues to cook him. And then if you go back to look at his history head-to-head, you could see last game 37. The game before that in March 13 doesn't count. That means nothing to me. 34 in February, 41. The man's ceiling is just too high right now. It's too early in the season. He's just cooking. He's playing big minutes. He's doing it all. 15 attempts last time, and he made 9 3-pointers. Again, you can take his points, or you can take that 3-point Goblin. Heck, you could even take his 3 points attempted at 10.5, but I don't recommend it because if this game does blow out, which it very likely could, it's an 8.5-point spread, he won't really need to be chucking those threes, you know what I mean? But I do think his points Goblin and his 3 points Goblin is good. Now, for those of you that are like, oh, Goblin, if you don't want to take the Goblin, take his line at 26.5 if you can find it. I don't like it at 27 because he needs 28. Not saying he can't get 28. Comment guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you don't want to just give them extra value for the sake of giving it to them. Find the value and take that. So 26.5 is fine. But since we don't have that on PrizePicks and it is Taco Tuesday, we're forced into something else. You can see rebounds allowed versus shooting guards. They're ranked 30th. Okay, so I do like him over 5.5 rebounds as well. And if you do look at the head-to-heads, he got 6 last time they played, 4, 6. His range of outcomes is 3 to 6. It's likely he lands on 5, so it is a pretty significant hook, but I do believe he can get 6. If you look at his potential rebounds, he had 10 last time they played. And if you look at his last 20 rebounds, 13, 10, 11, 10, 8, 7, 11. These are chances. Plus, you get those lucky. It just falls into his lap since he is someone who has a high usage rate and is up and down the court on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Those are all things to consider when you're making a lineup today. So that's all I got to say about Ant Edwards. Now, a kind of cheat code, if you will, for Taco Tuesday. Let's say you like Jalen Brunson. Let's say you don't like Jalen Brunson, okay? You find your pair for Jalen. Now, it's all about limiting your risk, okay? Maximizing your profit with limiting your risk. So, Jalen Brunson's the taco, yeah? Now let's go to his normal line and see what he's at, because there's going to be more than one taco today. So we see he's at 25.5 points. His Goblin is 19.5. So this is the strategy I tell my Discord. I tell everyone that will listen. This is what I do. So let's say you take Brunson and Edwards. Bang. You pair that, you get your 2x. Then when the next taco drops, whether it's NHL or whatever it is, NFL, you can take Brunson at 19.5 points and pair that with the next taco. So if he cashes the taco, he's cashing his goblin. So you're literally just using, your day becomes now on Jalen Brunson. And that way, if he cashes that taco, which you're already going to max out anyways, your now pair is going to cash whatever the next taco you take and the third taco as well. Okay. So at that point, you pretty much are anchoring Jalen Brunson. And let me tell you something, 20 points for Jalen Brunson in a pace up spot isn't a big stretch. It's not a big ask. Do I like Jalen Brunson? I mean, when it comes to being Taco Tuesday, he historically sells. That's just, everybody knows that. But we can't worry about that. We got to take that out of our mind. And this is how you double dip. You're maximizing your profit from Jalen Brunson and limiting your risk. And what I mean by that is the more players you expose yourself to, talking about ball, the more players you expose yourself to, comment guy, the more chance there are of things to go wrong. So you're trying to mitigate that. You don't want to have a broad exposure to this. That is why PrizePicks, listen to me, dude. This is why PrizePicks and every other sports books, they offer a million choices. One, you're going to get choice paralysis. That's a real thing. You walk into the shopping mart, you walk into Walmart, you're looking for soap, and there's 50 different brands to choose from. You don't know what you're going to take. You just sit there for 3 minutes and you're like, should I get this one, that one? And then it just boils down to two options. You either get the most expensive one or you get the cheapest one. That's how it works. And that is a psychological phenomenon known as choice paralysis. It's the same thing with these boards, with all of these options. You like someone, but you're like, what do I take? Or this, that. And then you don't end up making any decision. And then you just end up making a knee-jerk reaction decision. That's fact. Okay, that's human nature. Now, my goodness, these glasses keep falling off my face. I can't wait to get my laser surgery. I gotta sack up and be able to get the stones to do that because I'm scared to do it, but I want it and I need it like air. However, back on topic. The second thing is that because there's so many good options, you end up playing like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, which leads you to making 6-leg parlays instead of just taking 2 or 3 mans, and that is how they get you. Okay, it's all by design. They have psychologists on their payroll that are helping maximize to get money out of your wallet and put it into theirs, buddy. It is literally a billion-dollar industry, and I promise you, with everything in my being, they have professional psychologists on stand, on payroll, looking at the data, interpreting the most efficient, best way to extract money from you, the consumer. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with it. You just have to be aware of it, and you have to know that and try to beat them at their own game. So that is what you can do with whatever the next taco is. And then, like I said, he cashes one, he cashes both. So let's move on to the second leg. But before we do that, we're going over to DG. Now, people, even in my Discord, they don't quite understand this yet, but DG is not giving you plays. That's not what this is. This is a tool, just like you would have in a toolbox, a screwdriver, a wrench, a hammer. This is what this is. It's another tool in your box. Literally, that's what it is. It's giving you the market data in real time from all the popular sports books in America. Underdog, Bovada, Caesars, MGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, Pinnacle. And it's showing you what they're pricing the lines at. So then you can go on PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play, whatever, and make an educated decision. But what also, even if you're not using it for plus EV purposes, you can literally get the market data and find when lines are going to bump. Example, right here, Jason Tatum, 43.5 PRA. Every other book has him at 42.5 except 3. That right there signals to you, let's say you wanted to take over. You would wait and you would take it at 42.5 if you wanted to do that. Because you know, if this is what it's priced at right now, you can see, oh my goodness, he's 42.5 on almost every other sports book. It's moving down. And that is how you get value. That is how you can find discrepancies. And that is the only way to win long term. Now, when you're making gut calls, it helps you with that as well. If your gut call is it likes something and it's being heavily juiced under, well, then you would never take it on PrizePicks or Underdog. You take it straight up on a sports book where they're going to pay you plus odds on it and you're going to make more coin. That is why a tool like this is invaluable. And for whatever it is, $54 a month, it's the cost of doing business. So many of you are afraid of the cost of doing business. If you have a hobby, it costs money. You want to play golf, you got to pay the greens fees. You got to pay for the golf balls, the clubs. It's just the way the world is set up. You want to drive a car, you got to have car insurance, pay for the gas. Like, there's no shortcuts in this, man. I didn't make the rules. I'm just trying to explain it to y'all. So right here, Luca, more 8 assists. I'm glad you asked. 7.5 is minus 177. 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. He's probably going to move up to 8.5. Now, the caveat is this. he's a popular play, and I don't like the popular play tab, especially when we have a lot of games, but I can't get off of it. And no, we're not pausing. 8 assists for Luca just seems a little bit too low. My model has him going for roughly 8.8, which let's just call it 9. Okay, the matchup is tough. You can see Golden State Warriors defense versus point guards. They're 6th in not allowing assist allowed to point guards. Okay, it's not a good matchup on paper, but Luka supersedes matchups. He's matchup proof. That's just how it is. If you go back and look at his historical performance, he always turns up against them and cooks 11, 9, 10. And then if we go look at his last 20 or his last 10, because they've only played roughly 8 games this season, you can see he had 8. Well, actually, he's played 10 games this season. Yeah, man, time flies, dude. I remember when NBA was just tipping off. But okay, we can see he hasn't been getting 8 that much. His range of outcomes would be 6 to 11. He started off slow, but then he became Luka. 15, 13, 7, 9. Guys, he's playing big minutes. 40, 42, 32, 42. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not exactly sure why they're not showing Luka's potential assist on Outlier. That's one of the main things I use to determine whether or not I'm going to take it. But I don't care. It's a gut call, and I'm going to take it. Again, I don't like the fact that it's on the popular tab. The matchup isn't good, but I will have some exposure to this. I'm not anchoring it by any means, but it is a dart, and I do like the fact that every other book has it at 8.5, so I am getting a slight advantage there. Now, as you can see here, there is a lot of fantasy scores that are showing that they're juiced under. Now, this is a little bit different because these books don't come out and actually have fantasy scores on them. They do a calculation, so you need to be mindful of that. And what I provide in the cord is I do a sheet where you can see their average minutes, their games played, their usage rates, their fantasy point per minute, and their average fantasy points total. So let's say you wanted to take someone like Giannis fantasy score today, okay, and you're trying to figure it out. Well, he's averaging 1.68 fantasy points per minute this season. His usage rate is absolutely off the charts at 35%, and then he's averaging 34 minutes. So this is what you would do. It's real simple. You take 1.68, you'd multiply it times 35, which we can do right here live, baby. 1.68, multiply it times 35, and you'd get 58.8. Then you could see over here that the 61 is being juiced under. The books have him at 58 because they go by seasonal averages too, which is why this little sheet that I provide is so valuable and important, believe it or not. And you can see that historically the under would be the correct play. Now, you have to factor in that it is Giannis. There's team injuries, and it's the NBA Cup and all that, so he could soar over 61. But on average, you'd want to take less there. Personally, I'm going to fade that most likely. If I was going to take it, people were asking in the cord, I wanted his fantasy score to be at 55 today, and I was going to nuke it. But the fact that it came out at 61 scared me. On Underdog, I think it's 58. So if you did want to take it, you'd want to take it over there. But I do like Giannis as well. They bumped it 39.5 points plus assists. It's all the way up to 40. I do like Giannis in this matchup. I think his goblin points is good, which actually isn't really even a true goblin because look, if you pair it with any random prop, let's say we go back to the taco, you can see that it's paying you 2.5x. So I do like Giannis's points at 29.5, his points plus assists at 39.5 if you could find it. I mean, I was looking at the standings yesterday, and I believe the Milwaukee Bucks were in last place, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy how they're last place on the East. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Don't quote me. It was a thing on ESPN. I hadn't looked at it, and I was just shocked when I saw it when I did look. It could have been something else. I don't want to misspeak here. But my goodness, man. Could you imagine being in last place? Have the mighty have fallen. Giannis is too good to be last in anything. But anytime the game is competitive, like here, 39 minutes, 32, 30, 38, 33, 39. Whenever he plays Boston, you can see turn up, 39, 39. Got smoked versus the Knicks, they smoked Utah, and so forth. So you're going to need him to play his 38 minutes. You will need 38 minutes for Giannis to cover anything. But you can see the matchup isn't that great either for Toronto if you're looking on paper, but I personally like it, okay? Remember, Dame's out of the mix. So go filter it to with Dame out of the mix, and you can see he's cooking. 54, 35, 34, 36, 35. He's going to have to take over to win this game. He's going to have to do it all. So I think his points goblin, since they moved his 39.5 points plus assist, is reasonable. And again, it gives you 2.5x with whatever you take it with. I think that's completely fine. Now, the big elephant in the room, Joel Embiid, is he going to cook tonight? He was my wagon last season. If you were a member of this channel, you know how much I love Joel Embiid, his first half fantasy, his first half PRA, first half points, all of it. If he has no limitations tonight, if they come out and say he's playing a full allotment of minutes, you gotta take the man's first half because he's a freaking first half demon. And I believe it was 13.5 or 13. This line has been at some point 17.5, 18.5, and his PRA the same. This used to be the last year's wagon. It absolutely is and can be a wagon, but we need to know how many minutes he's gonna play. If you do want to gamble and throw the dice, I wouldn't begrudge you a bit. That's something you could go off of. I think it's totally fine. Make your decision. Captain Crush cannot make it for you. Now, I have 2 to 3 more plays that I want to talk about, but I gotta talk about this. Yesterday, my oh my, live stream, which is why I preached to you guys. I told you guys on that video we were going to do a community slip, and sure enough, we did. Where is it? Right here. I gave the votes. We did a 4-man power, or if you flexed it, whatever have you. This is the slip. This is the lineup, what it was. Live stream was at 5:15. We had 160. I think we had 160 in there, which is lower than our normal. We normally have 200, but I don't know. Maybe people were hungover from Sunday or whatever else. They missed it, and what a bad day to miss. In the live streams, I do community slips, just like I did in the early TikTok days, except now it's in the Discord. What does that mean? I give you a list, 3 plays that I like. I create a poll. I have you guys vote on it, and whatever the Discord live stream community gets the highest amount of votes, it goes in the slip. If there's a play of the day, I shoehorn it in, or if there's a play that I like, regardless whether they want it or not, I will shoehorn it in, which was this Cup and Waddle over combo. I made sure, as soon as I saw it pop up, I told him it doesn't matter. We're not voting on it. It's going in there. We put that in. And then if there's a tie, which Darius Garland and Jose Alvarado, which Alvarado played hurt yesterday. They didn't announce it. He only played 18 minutes. He hurt himself again. Now he's out for 6 weeks. That is why he played so bad yesterday. They should have informed us. He should have never played that game, whatever. But Darius Garland versus Alvarado, it was a 50-50 split. Captain Crush, vice presidential role, if you will. I came in, bang, break that tie, give me Garland, cash it. Puka, 5.5 receptions. This young gent ate the bump at 6. Didn't matter, cash it. And then Norman Powell, which everyone was pre-chalking, cashed that, 31 points. You can see here, Mudbone wants his shout out. He finally tailed the community slip. He threw 50 on it, and he got 500 back for his troubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure if you're in this Discord, you are in the community, or you are in the live streams where I do the community slips, but I do more than that as well. I give plays. We go over recaps. Everything that needs to be discussed, we talk about in that live stream. So make sure you are in there. I can't say it enough. Just look at all the green lineups that tailed the community slip. Plus, my NBA plays yesterday. This was the list. Giddey, 5.5 assists, cash. Kulabi, less 26.5 fantasy points, cash. Lou Dort, 20.5, cash. Powell, cash. Alvarado, oh, El Dorado, chalk him all because he only played 18 minutes and he was playing injured. But give me the 4 for 5. And then for the NFL, Smith, cash. Kyron Williams, chalked, unfortunately. The first half was abysmal. Tua, chalked. Puka, cash. Stafford, cash. 3 for 3. It is what it is. I mean, that first half yesterday in NFL was abysmal, but the main play was Puka, cash him. And then you can see under the captain slip tab, the community slip, I posted it right here for you guys to tail. I gave a parlay play slip that went 3 of 4, Powell, Dort, Achane, Nakua. Achane sold. They used Mostert in the passing game, which made no sense, but that's going to happen. That's why I tell y'all to flex your stuff unless you can handle the swings. Make sure you flex your lineups unless you have a massive bankroll and can handle the swings. So if you're ready to stop being poverty, get off the fence and join the live stream community, go to CaptainCrush.net. Gold package, you'll sync with the Discord. It's right here. Silver is just plays. You don't get Discord access. You get that daily prop list, which I just went over. But for the gold, you get it all. The live stream, it's right there. $24.99 a month. You can't beat it with a stick. You get my NBA projections sheets. You get the fantasy point per minute projection sheets. You get the daily prop list, you get the live stream access, the community chat, and you get direct slips from me. Everyone's always asking how to get in the Discord. This is how. It's linked via Dub Club, so go there. I'll pin it in the comments maybe. Now, let's continue the cook. I would be a fool if I didn't mention Underdog today because they're giving you a gimme pick, which means it's a free square, and they have a boost coming back. I think it's 75%. So on Underdog right now, you can get a gimme Pick, which is a free square, and you can pair it with whatever you want, which means you could pair with a goblin and pretty much collect 2x for free. I mean, that is something that is just crispy. So make sure you check out Underdog. Again, the code is crushed there. It's linked in the description. I will be cooking Underdog today in the live stream. It is Taco Tuesday, so I'm trying to focus on this, but yada yada. Let's get back to it. Now, someone else that I want to talk about real quick is Paul George, who's been like not really a needle mover this season. I mean, look at his lines. He hasn't been playing big minutes, but with Joel Embiid back in the mix, I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but I will say this. His assists at 4.5 is worth looking at. Okay, if you look at his minutes, you can see he actually played 33 versus Charlotte, and that was the most minutes he'd played pretty much this season, but he's only had 4 games, 31, 23, 24, and then 33. Maybe they're going to let him play 33 to 35 tonight. This game was an overtime game, but check this out. 4 assists on November 4th, 2 there, which he only played abysmal minutes, 8 here and 9 here. Whenever he plays big minutes, even when he didn't play big minutes, he's getting roughly around that 4. Now look at the potential assists, 10 here, 3. There's no data here, I don't know why, but 10 and 10. Now what was the difference on these 2 games? No Tyrese Maxey, okay? No Maxey in the mix, which means we have to consider it because Maxey's out of the mix again, but Joel Embiid's coming in, so it's tough to say because I'm not sure how this offense is going to run. I haven't seen it, but I do think it's worth considering Paul George over 4.5 assists. I think it's something you could look at. His points is on the popular play tab. I'm sure everybody's taking under because they see the last 5 because they're clueless. If this is how you do your research, oh, the last 5 are red, I'm taking less, you're never going to win money. Just might as well just cash app your mom and say, here, happy birthday or whatever instead, because that ain't hitting, chief. So consider his assists. I'm telling you guys right now, it's Taco Tuesday. Your plan should just be to get out of here by doubling up on all the tacos. So 2x, 2x, 2x. If your limit's 25, you can have a $75 day. That's more than a lot of people make in a day working 9 to 5 once you take out taxes and everything. So that is something you definitely want to consider. Now, the next person that I want to talk about is not on PrizePicks at the line I want, but he is on Parlay Play, which is why another reason it's important to shop around. RA for Cade Cunningham at 14.5. Okay, it's 1.72, which if you were to pair it with any other random square, let's just say we took this, it would give you roughly 2.98x, which is 3x. Okay, so you're getting better value here, which is why it's so important to shop around. I can't say it enough. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I will beat this horse till I'm forced off the train. Cade Cunningham has just been doing ridiculous things this season, y'all. Ridiculous things. Let me talk about this, and then I'm going to give you some final thoughts on the slate. We're going to wrap it up. Some are going to take his individual assist and his rebound, and I think that's a mistake. I think the optimal one is to take the RA, but you can see on PrizePicks it's at 15. Look at this, 17, 24, 20, 22. Now, do I care about the last 5? No, but I do care about the floor and ceiling. His floor right now is looking like on average it would be 15, given these outcomes. Okay, if you took the average of all these numbers, you're going to probably get more than 15. It would probably be 17 to be exact, 16 or 17, maybe even 18. Do I like the matchup? No, Miami plays slow and they do have a decent defense, but I don't care. What I would say for PrizePicks, you could take 3.5 turnovers for Cade because his usage rate is just absurd, which if I pull up my sheet and go to Cade Cunningham, you can see he's averaging 36 minutes and his usage rate is 30%. 30%, Papa, with 1.31 fantasy points per minute. A usage rate is how many times the ball's in a player's hands quantified into a number. So 30% of the time, Cade has that ball in his hands, which leads to assists, points, and also turnovers. And for that reason, I think his turnovers here is fine. Again, it's a dart. It's not something you want to anchor. A volatile prop like this isn't something you want to anchor. But over here on Parlay Play, 14.5 RA, I'm taking it. He's been a wagon. His usage rate is just too high. He's completely excelled from this season to last. He's just a different player. He's always shown signs of greatness, and I'm going to continue to ride this train until I am forced off, okay? Even you can see from when season started, he opened with 16, then 14, 12, 12, 11. His average is probably, if you average these in, is going to be around 15. And to be blunt, if you take the matchup straight up versus point guards and not the overall, they're ranked 26th in rebounds allowed and 27th allowed. So I absolutely believe that you need exposure to the one, the only Cade Cunningham, baby. The Detroit Pistons for the win? Question mark? My goodness, you know it's a poverty day when we're talking about the Pistons. but it is what it is. We will find that value, and we will continue to ride this train until we are forced off. And if you don't mind eating the bump, well then, yeah, go ahead and take it over on PrizePicks. But you see, you're giving yourself a disadvantage because on Parlay Play, it's 14.5. Use code CRUSH, get your deposit match. The link is in the description. Don't be loyal to just one site. So now let me wrap this up and give you my final thoughts. This video's taken way longer than I wanted it to. There's a lot of narratives out there tonight. You got the Celtics facing the Hawks, who are poverty. You got Trae Young out. You got a lot of injuries. As of now, he's out. You have a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope facing Charlotte at 5RA. The books hate it, model hates it, but Captain Crush thinks it's in the mix. He's just been getting it done, and I don't see a reason to not get off that train now. You got Klay Thompson returning to Golden State, his former team. Everyone thinks he's going to go yarn. Everyone wants to see Game 6 Klay, but I'm not buying it. It's a full fade for me. I do love a good narrative, but if he sells, I don't want any part of it. So I'll leave you with this. Use the taco strategy I told you guys. Giannis points, Edwards Goblin, either one of those are your 2.5 and 2x pairs. Even Edwards 3 points Goblin. Jalen Brunson, if you max the taco, take his 19.5 point Goblin for your other tacos. Double dip, lower your risk, maximize your profit margin. And then finally, be in the live stream today, baby. We're going to do another community slip. We just hit a 10xer. Maybe tonight we do 6 legs and we go after 25x. What say you? If the comment section wants it, if you stuck around this long and you're interested in a 25x community slip today, I will do it. Normally it's 5 legs. Yesterday I wanted 2 NBA, 2 NFL. We didn't force it. 4 was the magic number. I even said, boys, this is the one. This is hitting. I knew it was hitting. And we got to do it again. So I hope to see you in the mix. CaptainCrush.net. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.